How are y'all?
Welcome, everybody.
Welcome to another great episode of Breaking Hollywood.
Yes, and what a freaking week.
Your favorite podcast.
In the galaxy.
In the universe.
Okay, all right.
Forever.
And ever.
And ever.
Okay, you got me. I was trying to think. I wasn't quick enough.
Oh, man. But yes, yeah, let's get into it. I'll tell you about my week.
How about it?
Since you talked about it last time.
I did.
My week was good. It was normal, you know.
Mm-hmm.
My niece and nephew came to visit because my nephew doesn't have school on Monday, and I happen to be off on Monday. So I am super excited about that. I'm off Monday and Tuesday.
All right.
So nice to have a long weekend. But yeah, it was just normal. But I do have to say, since this is Wednesday, my two best friends' birthdays have already passed. But happy birthday to my best friend Tony, whose birthday was on September 30th. And happy birthday to my other best friend Jaslyn, whose birthday was October 1st.
Yay! Happy birthday, ladies. We love you.
We love you and we mean it.
That's so good that you got to spend time with them. Last weekend before their birthday. So at least you got to see them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it made it all the better. I wasn't missing nothing.
Oh, how cute.
I know. But yeah, that was my week.
I love y'all, ladies.
So yeah, how was yours?
My week was good. I spent a lot of my free time trying to just stay up to breast on all the current events. Like, I've watched news. You know, I normally watch news, but I have been consuming it. Like crazy because of everything that's going on. Oh my goodness. Yeah. We're living in history right now, but we'll get into that later.
We are.
This is insane.
Absolutely. It's crazy. Everything that's going on right now is crazy. And I know we're not going to talk about this in tea time, but I do want to say, ask anyway, did you see old girl who, I can't remember her name, but the one who killed the black guy, walked into the black man's home?
Yes.
And shot him. Did you see what she said on the stand?
Yeah. You know what? That's interesting that you say that because amongst me doing all of my, media dives and trying to see what's going on, I did run across that video and I was interested to see what it was about. So I did watch it, and her testimony, even though it seemed compelling and that she was being honest, I couldn't help but notice that she still sprinkled it with poor me. Cried
with no tears too.
Well, I'm not even so much that. The thing that bothered me is I noticed that she said something in her testimony that really kind of struck me, which was towards the end of it, she goes, "My life is destroyed and I hate myself for it. And
You destroyed that man's life, first of all. And the parents that are sitting in there, you feel like you have the right to even say that after you. And they're trying to make like she wasn't intoxicated or something. There was something for you to not recognize. This is not my floor mat in front of my welcome mat in front of my door. His is red.
Right. Her missing table.
The whole decor, like everything was different. What wouldn't in your mind be like, wait a minute, maybe I did something wrong.
See, well, in watching the coverage that I saw of it, I saw one interview from, I think it was CNN, don't quote me, but the other one I did see from TYT. And when I was watching one from TYT, they showed her whole testimony. It wasn't just like chopped up parts, but it just for me, I understand both parts. I understand how her life is ruined. Absolutely. I get that. But for me.
But you don't get the right to say it.
Well, no, not even so much the right, because for me, I feel we all have the right to voice our opinions. And that is her reality right now. Her life is over, and I completely get that. But I noticed something that was odd. The report says that he was shot sitting on the couch eating ice cream. But she says that somebody ran at her. So that for me is just a little confusing. And then seeing her testimony on top of it, I'm sure she probably is sorry. But again,
the thing that bothered me
is still that it felt so self-serving for me. Like, my life is ruined. Me.
Well, Carl, she was a cop. She was a cop, so you know that they had to cover it up to make it seem as though she wasn't intoxicated, she wasn't anything, because they're trying to say, oh, we took a blood test and she was not. She was normal. She was just distracted. Okay, and then somebody came at her, and that's why it gave her a reason to shoot.
But that was completely.
But if he was actually just sitting on his couch, which he probably was, and she walked in and was like, there's a black man sitting on my couch eating ice cream. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Let me kill him. Why wouldn't you just ask someone who you think is sitting on your couch eating ice cream so calmly as you walk through your supposed front door, what are you doing in here?
Right.
Instead of automatically pulling a gun and shooting.
Oh.
I'm just saying.
I don't know. All of it is kind of fishy for me. And I watched Bill Maher on Friday, and Bill Maher says something really, really, really good. He said it in parody, but it was still interesting. He goes on to talk about how white people have these things. And he specifically said liberal whites, where he's like, haven't black people been through enough that they shouldn't have to sit around as well and try to compliment you on how well you're doing in supporting the cause?
Right.
And I was like, dang. Like, I had already heard it from Chelsea Handler's documentary, and I hadn't really thought about it where, the black woman said, it is not our duty to have to come behind and pat you on the back and make you feel better. And then when Bill Maher said it, I was like, dang. And then when I saw her testimony, it was just like, okay, now we have to validate you feeling bad for the thing that you did. No, I don't think we have to validate you for that. And I don't think we need to hear. And I understand she has to state her truth. That is her truth. I get it. I'm sure she does feel bad.
She has to tell
but
her
do
side.
You really need to testify and talk about how bad you feel? Because in my opinion, if I would have been her attorney, I would have said, you know what? You need to leave your personal feelings out of it, and you just need to stick with the facts. Because if for any reason, I don't know what the jury looks like, but if for any reason there are some people on the jury who might be leaning towards making her feel guilty, that could rub them the wrong way. And I'm not saying that she deserves to be guilty or innocent. I don't know. I don't know all the facts. I'm just saying how it made me feel. If I was on the jury, I'd be like, girl, you just you rubbed me wrong. You was on the the right path at the beginning, and towards the end, no, the sob story lost me. And I was just like, well, you should have thought about that as a cop. I mean, you're a trained professional. So
you are trained. You're trained to not be aggressive first.
Well,
you're trained to be aggressive once.
Not to be aggressive.
Well, that's what technically that's what they're supposed to be trained to do. So, but anyway, we could go on and on about it. But the other thing is that I felt bad because the judge forgot to warn the parents didn't want to see anything graphic that had to do with anything, and so it just was a bad situation all across the board. The judge
messed up.
Yeah, the judge forgot to tell them that they were going to play the tape of trying to resuscitate him. And
Oh, Jesus. See, I didn't hear about that. And the family was obviously in there and they showed it?
Yeah. And so the parents were in there, and so they were like covering their ears and covering their eyes. And then she was like, oh, I'm so sorry, because I know that in previous days when we've played this, you guys wanted to be out of the room, and I apologize. It was an error of my judgment for not announcing that we're about to play the tape.
Wow.
So it was that's just sad to hear. But anyway, all right, we just gonna move on to our next segment.
All right, so just really quick though, before we move on into the segments, I got a chance to see Hustlers, and I want to talk to you about what you thought it was like. I'm not gonna cover it, but it's just, personal time.
So I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was a really, really good movie. But however, the story behind it, like them trying to capture the friendship part of it and all that. That's great. But the movie was about women drugging men and stealing their money. I mean, and
it's based on a true story.
It is based on a true story. And it's also Cardi B has came out saying that she used to do that.
Oh, really?
Yes. Oh, yeah. There was a big thing where Cardi said in her interview that she used to drug men and rob them. Yeah, for sure. And then, but this is not her story. Apparently this is because there's a woman who's saying that it's her story and they never gave her any credit for it or anything. And she's,
Well, I wouldn't admit to that, honey.
But yeah, well, Cardi B but they got arrested and they served their time. That part is true. But Cardi B has said it before in a couple of interviews at the beginning of her career. She don't say it anymore because I'm pretty sure her PR person
and her
was
like, come on, girl.
Sweetheart, listen up. You already got some cases against you right now that we working through. You need to chill out. So, yeah. But other than that, I think it was cool. I just, I don't really feel like glorifying drugging
of course not.
Stealing
that
for
part.
People is cool. But
I enjoyed it. I thought it was entertaining.
A good movie.
I loved Lizzo.
The girls looked good.
Yeah, the actresses were great.
Looked good. All of them. They all looked good. Even the little Asian girl. I was like, okay.
Yeah, they was doing it.
Shoot.
Like, it really was an amazing movie. And again, I'm not for drugging anybody and robbing them. I'm not saying that. The story was good, and I thought all the acting was amazing. And I love how they told the story. The complexity of it was really good. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. And it was, I never understood though why the girl was she just writing a story on them?
She was writing an article on them. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because they had already went to jail and everything.
Exactly.
This was years later. So, but yeah, it was good. So.
Okay. All right, girl, let's move on.
We are going to move on to our next segment, and is music with Trina. All right, y'all. So we have a couple of new albums that have been released. And so I wanted to touch on a few that I thought were worthy. I do want to say this. I didn't I'm not going to play any from these two albums because they're very explicit. But if you do like rap, I feel like DaBaby's new album just came out. It's a banger.
Okay.
It really is. It's really, really good. And then Young M.A., she put out a new album called Her Story something or other. But it's pretty good too.
Okay.
I like that one as well. So those are two, if you like explicit hip hop, those are two good albums to check out. They just were released this week. So check those out. But we're going to move on to the ones that we's playing today. Okay. So the first person, his name is Todrick Hall. I don't know if you guys know who he is. He's been around for a while.
Yes,
he's on RuPaul's Drag Race. What does he do on that? Do you know?
Well, he was a guest judge on the episode that he did for RuPaul's Drag Race as the choreographer. So that week.
But doesn't he also work like behind the scenes on that?
If he does, it's normally in choreography, like when they have to do the performances where they're doing like Room Musical or something. Then he works with them.
Okay.
But,
yeah, and he played in a lot of Broadway plays. He's Taylor Swift's best friend.
That's right. And currently right now, he was contracted by Disney. Disneyland is getting ready to release a new parade. It's called Dream Something, but they announced at their D23 Expo that all the music was created by Todrick Hall.
That's dope because he's really good at it. If you guys haven't been to his YouTube channel, he does a lot of remakes of a lot of the Disney movies and not the movies, but like the songs in the movies and stuff like that. So he's a really good singer. So he just earlier this year, he released the first part of this album called House Party. And he just recently released this week House Party 2. It has 9 songs on it. They have it categorized as hip hop. This is definitely house pop for sure. This is not, I guess, because of the way that he, because it's real voguey. Right. So I guess they consider that as rap, but it's not.
Right.
It's its own thing. It's house. Really is. And, but anyway, if you're into house, you should really check it out. It's dope. And we're going to play my favorite single, and it's called Cake Pop.
And if you like that thing, give a double tap. Now pop that thing like it's bubble wrap. These cakes are made for twerking, and that's just what the hell do. One of these days, these cakes are gonna turn all over you. That's a whole lot of cake. That's a whole lot of bubble. That's a whole lot of trouble. That's a whole lot of bootay. That's a whole lot of bootay. That's a whole lot of dump. That's a whole lot of jiggle. That's a whole lot of wiggle. That's a whole lot of bootay. That's a whole lot of bootay. Bend over, make that cake pop, 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 cake cake, bubble cake, cake. Ass bubble, ass shake. I don't give a damn if that bubble ass fake. Just as long as it shake like a bubble ass shake and it shape like a bubble ass shape. Served on a bubble ass plate, tastes great like a grape. Now shake that thing, have 'em seeing double. Now pop that thing like you playing trouble.
Cakes are gonna perk all over you. Ow, boom, boom, ding, ding, ding. I like it a lot. It makes you pop.
It does, yeah. Oh,
What'd you think? You're not into it.
And this is the thing. I like Todrick Hall. What was the last one he came out with? Heels?
Yeah, that's on this one.
Okay. This is the thing.
And there's a remix to it with Sierra on this album.
I saw his performance where Sierra called him out and he did something with her, and I thought that was awesome. I'm not against Todrick Hall because there are several songs of his that I really like. I am just tired of people ripping off, like, these boots are made for walking. He just changed it, and it was like, okay, I get it. I don't know.
I liked it though. I think the boys will love it.
Of course they are. And Todrick Hall, he's huge
in the go-go scene,
in the gay scene. So yeah, I mean,
I gave this album though a 5. Like
my point exactly. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool.
Does not take away from him being brilliant because I am a Todrick Hall fan.
Yeah.
I'm not really impressed by that song.
But I listen to albums for the musicalities and for, like in that genre, do I feel like you like are just top of the line? First of all, this is not hip hop. It should not be in the hip hop at all. And if it was, then this would be a 1. Like if, because this is not even, that's not it. In pop though, I think it's cool. I think it's better than Taylor Swift. So, all right. So the next album here that was released is by Charlie XCX. Now I had never heard of her before.
I have. I like some of her songs actually.
But when I heard a couple of the songs off the album, I was like, oh, wait a minute. She has a pretty cool voice. So I listened to the whole thing. I did like it. I actually think this is better than Todrick Hall. So I will, for pop, I definitely would give this one a 7. I think it's a really good album.
Let's hear this one then.
Yeah. And so the album has 15 songs on it. It is in the pop genre, and it's classified where it should be. And we are going to listen to a song called Gone. I try real hard, but I'm caught up by my insecurities. Pour me one more, watch the ice melt in my fist. I feel so unstable, fucking hate these people. That's pop.
Now listen, I'm just going to put it out there now and just be honest. I am biased towards the instruments that were used because it's very 80s reminiscent.
It doesn't matter. It's pop.
I loved that.
Pop.
That was fire.
That's pop.
Yeah, that got me going. Pop. But I love any album that has that old retro sound where they've taken those old retro sounds and they've made them updated. I am partial to that. And so that groove, that bass line, the track of the drums, like that had me going. That was fire.
Right.
I liked that one.
Right. It was good.
That is good.
You cannot deny it. And
she's giving it on that one.
And so she also, which I read a little bit of some of the things that she talked about on her album, and she wrote a song called 1999. And she did it with this guy, and it was kind of, reminiscent of the 90s pop. And then they liked it so much that they did another song on the album called 2099. So you got to check those out.
I am. I'm actually going to download that song now because of you. Because I like that one. That nice little groove.
Yeah, it's dope. So now we're going to move on to our last and final. Well, so she hasn't came out with an album yet.
Right.
She is dropping it soon. But y'all know, if y'all know me, y'all know who my favorite singer is. The Vocal Bible has decided to drop a gem in our lap.
Mm-hmm.
Brandy, also known as B Rocka, has put out the first single from her new upcoming album. It's called Freedom Rings. It is off an R&B album. We all know that Brandy is true R&B.
She is.
I heard a joke. Somebody was like, she had posted a video of Ray J in the studio with her, and he was teaching her a run, which oddly enough, she usually does it. But Ray J, to me, Ray J can sing because I know that he's done a lot of the backing for her on a lot of her albums, which people don't even know. But he was doing this run. And she started screaming, and somebody was like, when are y'all going to put out the Ray J and Brandy album, R&B? I was like, oh my God, that would be
That's a dope marketing tool.
That would be so dope.
That would be.
But anyway, here we go with Brandy's newest single, Freedom Rings.
I can see the world from higher ground, higher ground. See, all I need is a part of me that's been screaming out. Branded like the morning, I'm sick of conforming. Got too many thorns in my rose. Can't be contained or tame and laugh at thunder. Dance the rain, and me, LaShawn, will shine again and again. Lost made in winter, homes made in spring. Trying to remember what made me sing. Humbled and broken, hoping these wings could help me rise again. Hey, something just beyond your grasp won't ground me. Something that I lost and last just found me. I'm popping far beyond the paparazzi. I can't stop y'all from watching, but you're watching me taking off. Gave you all I had, my love, my blood, my sweat, and my time. But you wanted more. I invested these years, these tears that I cried.
My God. Now, you sent me that song before the show. You sent it to me during the week, and I listened to it and was just
I sent it to you the day it came out.
She is just, that first run. Oh my God.
Let me tell you, she ran all and up and down that track, okay? No pun intended.
She ran up that wall, back down.
Look, she ran around that track. No pun intended.
My God.
I mean, Jesus. And then the melodies and the harmonies, it was just, to me. Now, I'm not being biased because Brandy is my favorite singer. I am not, because you are over here feeling, you're geeking too. The point though is that R&B is meant to be sung. Mm-hmm. There's supposed to be something melodic about it. There's supposed to be something that you feel when you hear R&B music.
Rhythm and blues. You have to feel the rhythm, and then you want to feel the emotion, which is the blues part of it. Of course, yes.
I don't give a damn. She shut it down.
She did.
And that's just that on that. So I hope you guys enjoyed the music today. Remember, if you want to go out and purchase that music, okay? If you don't already have Apple Music or Spotify or somewhere where you can listen to it for free. But it's always nice to support artists because, that's how they make their bread and butter.
Yeah, and make sure that if you guys have some artists that we are not abreast to, that you go ahead and write into us. Shoot us that message at askbreakinghollywood, all spelled correctly, at gmail.com. Because again, this is a conversation. This is a community. This is a family thing. So again, if there's news, anything, music, artists that you think we should be paying attention to give a shout out to, hit us up. We want to know. We wants to be in the know, okay?
We want to be in the know, yeah. And y'all can also write us in our DMs, Breaking Hollywood on Instagram. We always in there. We active.
We do.
So
before we get to the music segment, though, I wanted to ask your opinion on this because I know this past week it was announced that Jennifer Lopez and Shakira, Super Bowl halftime. What you thinking? Okay, can I just say something?
It depends. It depends.
Well, I'm excited to see two Latinas. I'm excited for that. That is more ethnicity, and I think they're going to complement each other well.
Okay, so this is okay. Okay. First, Shakira. I love Shakira's voice, first of all. I think she's dynamic at what she does. So, and she stayed in her lane and always has. And I think that's dope. But since Jay-Z is now over all of the music, I feel like if Shakira does not bring out Beyonce to do Beautiful Liar, it's over.
I don't think she would, though.
Why not?
Well, we have to keep in mind, Beyonce. That
was a great crossover song for her.
I agree. But do you think Beyonce's going to have the time? I mean, she's been laying low because she did On the Run tour. And then we don't know. They released the album and then she did the thing on ABC. I have a feeling she's gearing up for a tour, though. So
she might be gearing up for a tour, but I mean, Super Bowl's not that, February?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm because she's not gonna be doing nothing during the holidays. So,
well, I mean, we never know because she'd be quick to just drop stuff. And we do know her work ethic because while she was doing her last tour, she was still preparing for Super Bowl. And then she made an appearance for Coldplay. So, I mean, and she was on that tour.
Yeah, but I think she might. It
would be awesome. Don't get me wrong.
Now, Jennifer Lopez, I haven't listened to anything new of hers. I know she just came out with that album, It's My Birthday or something like that.
Didn't know that, but that's good to know.
Well, there's a new one. Mm-hmm. I don't know. But if she does all the old stuff.
It's been a while. She does
the old stuff though, like "Cause I'm Real Wave" or Jenny from the Block.
Well, of course. I mean, everybody who goes on the Super Bowl, because Lady Gaga's done it, Madonna's done it. They all do their original stuff that made them famous.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's all I want to hear. I don't want to hear this new. Except for she did come out with this song called "Money" that was produced by DJ Khaled.
Was that her song or his song?
I think it was his. You know how he does his album, but it's not really his album. It's an album full of people doing songs. In which he was mad at Tyler the Great for, Tyler the Creator. I called him Tyler the Great.
I did hear that too.
Which he was mad at Tyler the Creator for being number one on the Billboard. Like, get out of here.
Right.
You do not do anything but yell at people throughout the entire album.
Oh.
This is your time. Okay, well, preach then.
Right. Yeah. Anyway, he's a good hype man.
But that was a good song. So I wouldn't mind hearing that. But anything there's a J-Lo side that I don't like at all.
Oh, okay. Well,
the very very poppy J-Lo, I do not like that J-Lo because she is not. She's Jenny from the Block. That's who she is. So stick to your, Anyway, so yeah, that's it on that. Let's move on to Help Me Fix My Life. And Carl's got this one today. This a good one, y'all.
So my question is just, when are we going to get our official song for Help Me Fix My Life?
I don't know. We gotta go back and listen to the tracks and see which ones you like the best.
Didn't we say we're going to let the breakers decide on that?
We did, but we haven't really had much audience participation on that. So we're just going to have to.
Okay. We're going to move on then.
Yeah, we're just going to have to do it ourselves, which is okay.
Yeah, it is. That's all right. All right. So we're going to go on to Help Me Fix My Life. All right. So here we go.
All right.
Hey, Carl and Trina. I'm using Carl's words from last week. Buckle up because it's a doozy. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I have been married for 5 years and we have 2 beautiful children. Life has been great until it wasn't. My husband, Terrence, dang, she just put his name all in it. Okay. Has
Don't
not
care.
been the best man. So, oh my God. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm going to go back and do that sentence. I just wasn't expecting that to come after it. Not only did she put his name out there, but she just came for everything that he was. Okay.
Everything.
All of it. Okay. My husband, Terrence, has not been the best man, so we have decided to get a divorce. That's not the worst part. Trust me. I was at work one day when my friend contacted me asking me why I still hang out with our mutual, end quote, so-called friend, Lip. Oh my God, she is just blasting these people.
Maybe it's not their real name.
I hope not. So-called friend Libby, after everything she has done to me. I was so totally clueless to what she was talking about and asked her to elaborate. She then proceeded to say, well, sleeping with Terrence, of course. My jaw dropped. Wow.
Huh?
I wanted to flip out, but I held it together. I asked her why she never told me before, and she said Terrence told her husband that you already knew. I asked her when this happened, and she told me for the last 2 years. I was immediately pissed off all over again. Oh, Jesus. Should I go kill this man? Absolutely not, honey. Should I bury this woman? Please don't, sweetheart. What about my children? And that's the reason why you shouldn't. That's right. I'm so lost at what to do, and my emotions are all over the place. Let me finish reading first and then I'll comment. My heart goes out to you right now, honey. I don't want him back, but the fact that she was sleeping with my husband and still smiling in my face and having drinks with me is beyond embarrassing. I know I have to eventually confront her and him, but I'm completely lost for words, guys. Please help. Wow.
Serenity.
Wow. Yes, it's from the Breaker Serenity.
What a name for this situation.
It is. Honey. Let me just say, my hat goes off to you for being so very aware of who you are and being present. Because I'm so glad you were able to catch yourself and be like, I know I need to confront them, but you understand not to do it in your emotions and letting them drive you. That's very wise, honey.
So here we go. So Serenity.
Trina.
First of all,
hold on, Trina. Before you, please, before you go, please, I just want you to consider legal. Please don't tell her to do anything illegal. I want Trina to talk and not Shay. I'm just saying, because I was seeing your face during this, and I saw you fighting between the two of them. So I just want to say, please keep into consideration that we have legal obligations. I don't want to say anything. Attorneys might have to get involved. Trina, please.
Shay is on a leash. Shay's on a leash. Because this is what I was going to say.
Think about it. We got a show, honey. We're trying to take this somewhere. I don't want Shay to sabotage us because she'll get out there and say a little bit too much realness.
Shay is on a leash. Serenity. First of all, I commend you for not having yet gone and busted out her window, slashed her tires, lit his head on fire while he was sleeping, and, all of that and the above. I commend you for not doing those things.
Yes. Thank you. I'm glad you got it. She's fighting. I know. Oh.
However,
Jesus.
I feel your best bet in this situation is to take that shame, that humiliation, that hurt, that pain, and get it out in another way. Because one, you are already divorcing this man.
That's right.
It's not there. You made the decision already that you don't want to be with him. Maybe not the decision that you wanted to make, but you made that decision.
Right.
So just take that into consideration. However, it is very easy to no longer be friends with Libby, okay? Because Libby clearly is not the type of person you want around you anyway.
Not even a
I
little
don't
bit.
care if it was an accident, she slipped and fell on it.
Not for 2 years.
Clearly.
You can't slip for 2 years. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying.
Libby is a bad person.
It's never an accident. I'm just saying.
Right.
Like, it's never an accident.
Sometimes it can be. If you're attracted to somebody and you're both intoxicated, you allow yourself to be a little bit more free.
That's not an accident.
No, it's not. But you allow yourself to be a little bit more free. We all know that. Then you would in your right mind.
But you take
a calculated risk. That's right.
No, you take accountability for those actions. It's not an accident.
You're right.
Don't tell me it was an accident, because even though you might have been intoxicated or any of those other things, you still were
made the choice.
Aware.
That's right.
So, so Libby, who's Libby? she can go. Like,
that's a bad friend, honey. Yeah.
that's not your friend. You don't even have to say anything to her. Honestly, I don't feel like there's no reason to even say. She knows what she did.
Mm-hmm.
And she knows that, oh, well, I wonder why she's not talking to me. Why isn't Serenity talking to me? Okay. Because I did do some things. Like, she'll start putting 2 and 2 together. Or she might still be in contact with your ex, Terrence. Who knows? But
I want to know if Libby is married and if her husband knows or her partner knows.
yeah, I don't know. But that's not your place.
Now, you're right. That ain't my place. But
No, I'm saying Serenity, like, you don't need that karma. I mean, I understand
Right.
you might want to be I'm going to let y'all know because she was doing this to me and I don't want y'all going through Let it go. It's not your business because she's already got, just from those actions right there, she's already got enough karma to deal with. Trust me, it'll come out.
And sweetheart, let me just say this. You're concerned about being embarrassed, but you have nothing to be embarrassed about because who would you be embarrassed to? If that woman was willing to do that behind your back and you didn't know, that's not on you, sweetheart. And I sure hope that you're not embarrassed because of your own ignorance, because again, that was at no fault of your own. We be embarrassed when we have all the facts of a situation and then we do something that we know is outside of our character. I think that's the only time to be embarrassed. This was something that was done to you of none of your asking. And again, I don't know the relationship of your marriage or your past marriage and what it was. But again, that's not on you, honey. That is nothing to be embarrassed of. You were doing what you were supposed to be doing. So don't be embarrassed, honey. You hold your head up and you be strong because that is not you. And I would just say, make sure you just deal with your emotions like Trina said. Just look after you, honey. Libby is not your friend. If you choose to address it, go for it. If you don't, that's okay too, because you don't have to.
No need,
because
though.
you know who they are.
Yeah, it's no need. Not your friend.
At all.
You don't even pay it dust, as the boys say.
I do want to say this though.
Don't
The
even
other
acknowledge
friend,
her.
I mean, that's hard. The one who even said, why are you still friends with Libby? That's a long time to never say anything because I know if it was me and you, I would be like, listen.
We don't know how long she's known.
Right. That's true.
But what I don't think it was appropriate for her to tell her at work. That's the first thing.
Yeah.
I think that's, but maybe, we don't know what the situation was, why that conversation sparked. Maybe she'd seen Libby and Serenity had just hung out and decided to say something about it. Like, I don't know, and I don't know how often these girls hang out as well, because it could be a, one-time link up that they've hung out in 3 or 4 months. So, or even in a year, like you never know.
That's right.
I don't really blame the friend. I do feel like timing was horrible. I feel like you could have been like, girl, let's go get some drinks. Let's go eat. And then brought it up to her rather than while she's at work. But whatever, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So.
Serenity, sweetheart, we got you. I'm going to be sending you lots of good energy.
Yeah. And see, Shay didn't even tell you to do anything. She told you not. She told you not to bust out the windows and slash tires. Not to bust out the windows and slash the tires. So that is that on that. And we are going to move on to our next segment.
Yeah, let's do
Y'all
that.
know what time it is.
Yeah, let's go.
It's tea time. It's tea time.
It's tea time.
Tea time. We got a little bit brewing.
Yes, we do. Do you want to go first? Because mine are a little bit more serious.
Yeah, sure. Let me go first. I want to bring this up because I thought that it's funny. And I know that, we as parents in this generation probably think differently than our parents did before us about raising our children and everything like that and how we're going to punish our kids and stuff like that. Because I know a lot of stories. Like I was never like beat. Okay. I can count how many whoopings I got. I don't think my father ever whooped me. Maybe once, but I don't remember it. But I have heard stories of, kids who say, well, my mama used to whip me. Okay. She used to beat the brakes off me and stuff like that.
I'm in the same boat as you. Like I got whooped when I was younger a few times, not too many, because my mom had this thing where if we told her the truth, then there wouldn't be a consequence because she felt it was more important for us to be able to speak truth than to be trying to do something not to get a physical consequence, which is why I think I have the belief that I do now. The reason I don't agree with physically hitting children is for this reason. To me, it's just another form of slavery. I'm going to physically impose harm on you to make you do what I want you to do. That to me, I don't agree with, which I find interesting because my mindset has evolved over the years with that. I used to be like, because we've heard the jokes, the reason why so many white kids is acting that way is because they get needing a good, ass whooping. Yeah. And that's why you don't see many black people in this. But then I also have stepped back and thought about it. And I'm just like, think about it. We spank a child because we have no other way to communicate with them. I don't agree with that.
Right. And everybody's opinion about the thing's different. I don't think there's any wrong with popping them when they're being disrespectful. So they know you don't talk to me that way. I'm going to pop you right in the mouth.
Now, let me just tell you what that.
Pinch.
Let me tell you what that.
Pinch, I don't, but I mean full on, let me go get my belt. Like, yeah, I'm not with that.
But don't you think that it's
everybody's different?
Yeah, and you're right. But to me, I'm just thinking about like slavery times. They used the whip because they needed them to understand if you don't do what I'm asking you, this is the consequence. Even if somebody's talking back, most of the times we understand people lash out in that manner only because they feel attacked. And I do believe that a lot of the times we as a black culture are quick to be like, well, do as I say, not as I do. So some mamas can be in the wrong. I'm not saying that, all of them are right. And again, I understand the disrespect, but we have to come to a point, my opinion, where we stop using that as a way to get our children to do what we want, because indirectly what we're saying to them is, okay, no, I don't care. I told you to sit down and stop talking. I don't care what you was doing. Do it because I say I'm in charge, instead of actually having conversations with our children.
With them.
Yeah, because we're just perpetuating the same thing. No, your voice does not need to be heard. That's just my opinion. Right.
And again, I think there's going to be different viewpoints on all of this.
I'm sure that's not popular,
But let me tell you one viewpoint.
Oh, Lord.
Apparently, on an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Courtney, Scott, Kim, their friend Food God, Chris.
That's the one with the plastic surgery, huh? The Food God.
He says it's natural, but yeah. Chris and then her boyfriend Corey. I listened to an interview with him. That's why I know. And he says his lips are real too.
But look at that.
But I'm pretty sure he says Kim's butt's real too. So
come on now.
All of them are sitting at dinner, and Courtney is explaining a situation where Penelope, the daughter, got upset and didn't want to get in her car seat, so she scratched the nanny.
Ooh.
In the face.
Ooh.
And so then Corey was like, okay, well, did y'all beat her or something like that? And she was like, no, but because I feel like you can talk to a child, like you can talk to them, which I do agree you can talk to a child. But here we go moving forward at what happened in this situation. And Corey goes to say, which if you guys don't know, Kris Jenner's boyfriend, Corey, is black. Okay. Right. He goes to say, let me tell y'all something. I don't care what y'all say. If Penelope scratched me, I'm whooping her ass. And then he says, whooping ass, ask questions later. And I will deal with that afterwards. But if she's, so then Scott goes, you would do what? He said, I will whoop her ass. Scott says, you would whoop Penelope's ass? You would whoop my 7-year-old daughter's ass? And Corey says, yeah, I would. And he was like, and then Courtney gets upset and she's like, yeah, well, I don't ever want you alone around Penelope again. And he's like, if she scratches me, I'm going to beat her ass. And you can see Kim and Chris both nodding their heads like, yeah, like, because they deal with, now Courtney is the only one who is not have any kids by black men or date black men. So all the rest of them kind of are like,
they're like, that's all normal. Yeah.
That's what happens. But Courtney is like livid. Then they cut to a scene on this little clip that I watched where she's having an argument with Mason, who is her son. And she's like, go in there and clean the dishes. He's like, I do not want to clean the dishes and you can't make me do it, and get up. And so then, you know, people are like, well, see, and that's why you need to whoop his ass.
See, but okay, now let me just say.
Okay, so that is the situation that happened, and that is why I asked the question. Would you whoop their ass, or would you have a conversation at that extent? Because apparently Penelope always has these temper tantrums. It's not just the first time that this has happened.
Well, you know, let me use the example of me and my niece, because you were on that phone call. Me and you were talking on the phone when I was watching my niece. And so I don't believe in popping my niece at all. I don't believe in spanking her at all. And actually, she listens to me. And the reason is because I have conversations with her that are very clear and letting her know my intentions. Point blank period, meaning this. If she's jumping on the couch, I'm going to tell her, Princess, you need to get down off the couch.
Okay,
this is the reason
I'm going to
why.
stop you, though. I'm going to stop you, though. We're not talking about Princess. I'm talking about Penelope. I'm talking about if Penelope came up to Uncle Carl and said, "Roar!" and scratched you in your face. And she's done this not only to you, but to she has terrorized other people and did it to her own nanny.
See, but again,
what would you do?
At the end of the day, her nanny, I don't know what her nanny's allowed to do, but this is the thing. If somebody scratched me in the face the first time, I'm going to clearly ask them.
Her nanny is not allowed to touch her, clearly. Those are millionaires over there.
Thing.
She's going to lose her.
Well, I'm just telling you, if it would have been me. So let's just put me in that situation working for the Kardashians, right? But this is just my personality, period. If she scratches me the first time, I'm going to have a conversation with her. And I'm going to ask her, why do you think it's all right for you to do harm to me when I do no harm to you? If you can give me a valid explanation as to why, then we're going to be okay. If you can't,
are you going to
have
let
another
her
conversation.
Parents know?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
And then
now
the second time I see her trying to go and do it, I'm grabbing her hand. I ain't going to pop her. I'm going to grab her hand and I'm going to escort her right to her parent. Or I'm going to contact her parent, FaceTime, whatever I have to do, and say, listen, I am holding your child as such because this is the second time they attempted to go and do harm to my face. So now you have one of two options. You either need to control your child and let your child know they do not get to put their hands on me, or I can file a lawsuit against you because you're putting me in a situation that is endangering my life because they're scratching at my face, which could do damage to my eyes. Period. So what are you going to do? But I'm not going to let that child scratch me a second time.
Right.
So now that would be my extent is to grabbing their hand and making it very clear.
But what if you were Grandpa Corey?
Now, if I was Grandpa Corey, listen here, I'm going to just tell you like this. I don't know what the Kardashians do in their home. But like I said, I'm going to grab her little ass. I ain't going to pop her or anything like that, but I'm going to grab her hands and make it very clear. You're not touching my face because this is my person. I ain't going to do harm to you, but you're not about to do no harm to me.
Agreed. And I don't think I would whoop a white kid just because.
Well, why does it have to be like that? What about a black child, an Asian child?
Well, hold on.
Pakistani?
Well, hold on. I'm going to say this. This is how I'm going to say this. If I have been given permission from a parent to treat their child a certain way and discipline their child in a certain way, that is how I will follow suit. If you told me, if you were Courtney and Scott and you say you don't whoop your child, I'm not going to whoop your child because that is traumatic.
Right.
Because their first memory is going to be, man, a black man gave me a whooping.
And that's their child. You don't get to make different rules for their child.
And so I get it. But I'm saying I understand what Corey was saying.
Right.
Because he was basically saying it shouldn't even get to the point.
That's right.
To where your child is being so outlandish that they're scratching other people.
And I agree.
Which reminds me of a story when when I was little, and then I'm done. But when I was little, my mom took me and my cousin to a movie. My cousin Smook, and Smook is about 6 or 7 years younger than me, and so he couldn't have been nothing but 3 or 4. But let me tell you something, Smook was like the baddest kid I've ever. You know when people refer to a kid as man, he was man times 10.
Oh, wow.
Okay, he got away with. I remember like we used to be playing Nintendo, and we would take turns, and so it would be like me and my brother playing or something, and he would come in there trying to play, and so like one time I like pushed him. And mind you, I'm the only girl around at this time. So I pushed him and he went and told his mom. And I got in trouble because he was trying to steal the controller from me while I was playing. So anyway, back to the story. We're in the movie. We're watching the movie. Everybody's happy. Mom done got his candy and popcorn and stuff. And then he turns over to my mom and goes, "Can I scratch you?"
And your mom said,
My mom is Angela Danley.
I know.
My mom said, "Put hands on me if you want to, and I'll put the prayer of the Lord on you." In other words, that means I will whoop your ass, just like Corey said.
But hold up, though. But do you see, before she went straight to action,
before
she told
did
him
it,
what the consequence was going to be.
But
That's
he
right.
actually asked if he could.
Exactly, because he knew better. But that's the
Which
point
is
that I'm
different.
making.
Which
People
is different.
know
He
better.
asked if he could scratch first.
Exactly. Because
He
again,
didn't do what
he
Penelope.
knew better.
Penelope scratched without
Because
asking.
she doesn't know better because it hasn't been told to her. Look, this is how mommy and daddy deal with it. You go into the real world and put your hands on somebody else, they might whoop your ass.
Can I scratch you?
Because think about this. They're upset about Corey saying that in the home, right? And again, I'm not condoning violence.
Well,
but
they
what's
were
gonna
at dinner.
happen?
They weren't at home.
No, but
They were
still,
just
I mean,
at
like
dinner,
their
but
conversation, you know, if he
Yeah.
said if he's watching her and she does it, he gonna whoop her ass. But let's think about it like this. They're gonna send little Penelope off to school, right? Penelope does that to her nanny all the
gonna
time.
get her ass
That's
beat
the point that I'm making. She
by
gonna go to
another
school
kid.
thinking that she didn't get her way. She gonna scratch a classmate. They gonna mollywop her.
Yeah,
And then the Kardashians gonna be trying to sue.
that's gonna be a different kind of ass whooping. Corey was just talking about giving her a spanking. She gonna get laid out if she go to school, especially if she go up to a little black girl. "Can I touch your hair?" It's over. So they need to let her know now. And North don't need to be coddling her cousin, talking about, "Yeah, you can touch my hair." No, what you need
Come
to
on
tell
now.
her is, "My hair texture is different than yours, and if you try to run your fingers through it, it might get caught in one of my kinks, and that is gonna be a problem because then I'm gonna think you was pulling my hair, and now we gotta fight."
Right.
And that's just that on that. All right, let's go into your thing at tea time
Right.
so we can make sure that this show is on time.
I didn't know it was that in depth. I had heard about her response, but I didn't know that that's what it was spawned from. So now knowing the whole context, it's a little bit more. You know, everybody.
It's hilarious, though.
It's
hilarious.
interesting.
You have to watch the scene though, so you can see the confrontation between Scott and Corey, because Scott is like pissed off, thinking like the way he sounded
Right.
made it seem like Corey said he was gonna beat up the child, and Corey's looking at him like, "I said I'm gonna whoop her ass.
Right.
Like I'm gonna whoop her ass." But he's not saying he gonna
Right.
fight her. He's just saying like, "I'm gonna whoop her.
Yeah.
I'm going to whoop her." But Scott is like literally taking it like you're gonna beat my child. He changed the verbiage. He goes, "You're gonna beat my,"
because that's
so
what he heard. And again, and like we
Right.
say all the time, perspective. Because what Corey is saying, we understand it in context and being from his culture. Scott's not getting it. Scott is thinking, I'm going to get beat up because he probably never has had his ass whooped, or if he has, it's been in the context of another person doing it outside of the family. Not understanding the context of what Corey is saying. Right.
Right. So anyway.
Right. I was going to touch on Heather Lynn Patton, but I'm not even going there. I'm sure everybody has already heard of her by now, but I'm just going to go into this because
people haven't.
Well, I think what's happening in our country is more important.
Okay.
And I want to talk about that. So Heather Lynn, she's gotten her just due. So we're going to just move past that.
You're fired.
That's a great segue. That's a great segue. Girl, give it to her. Get it to her. Yes. So if you didn't get the hint, what the irony of that, huh? He's so used to calling people being fired.
He about to get fired.
I'm trying to tell you. So for those of you who are not caught up or who just have been under a rock.
You're not abreast.
That's right. So it's official that Nancy Pelosi announced last week, almost to the day, that Donald Trump is now under impeachment inquiry. Since that has happened, we've had the whistleblower leak saying that there was something troubling Donald had done. Then we had the memo that was released that says, I need you to do a favor though. Then we had the actual transcript released, the redacted one to a certain degree, because we find out later that full conversation has been moved to a secret server. Then we have on Friday it really hits the fan. It just turned into a mess. Secretary Pompeo is now been subpoenaed, which is just crazy. Rudy Giuliani is on talking about the State Department told him to talk to Ukraine, which is completely crazy because he holds no office in the United States government to be speaking on our behalf to any foreign leader of any kind because he's the president's personal attorney. Then on top of that, the special envoy to Ukraine resigns, who had direct dealings with Rudy Giuliani in this Ukraine situation, and them admitting to Trump asking for this stuff on Joe Biden. Oh my God. Then it comes out on Friday that other conversations with Putin and the Saudi Arabian prince have been moved to that same server. Then on top of that, I'm just like, Jesus Christ. Like, this is crazy. Where Trump has said to the Russians that he is not concerned about them interfering in our election, all in a span of 3 days.
Well, what did y'all expect?
Is insane. That's insane.
I'm sorry. This doesn't surprise me.
But this is craziness. Absolute craziness now.
It does not surprise me because when you have enough money,
honey,
anything can be buried.
But they haven't done a good job of burying it. The thing that gets me is this. Why would you release those transcripts?
It's because it wasn't meant to be found. But now that they're actually doing an investigation on it, it's being found. But it was never meant to be found because, hey, I got in this powerful position and I can do whatever I want because this is a dictatorship disguised as a democracy.
He's trying to, yeah.
Oh, it is. It already is.
This is absolute insanity. And then on top of that,
you're telling me, I don't know how many years after slavery, you're just now putting white supremacists as a terrorist group?
Come on now.
You're telling me that.
Well, that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day.
But I'm just saying,
right.
Like, come on. He's been running the country the way that he wants. Not to say that he has not done any good. We're not going to take away from the good things that he has done. But that does not take away also from all of the bad things that he has done.
Well, of course
and
not.
That's just that.
Because most of the things that he has done have been bad. I mean, he was even caught on tape talking about what they need to do to the whistleblower. Like, this is absolutely crazy.
Anybody who looks at a woman like a piece of meat and feels like it's okay to grab them by the pussy,
right,
should not be leading the free people.
I agree with you on that.
And that is literally that. Like, when and the fact that women have still continued to support him after feeling that way.
Well, you know what? This is the crazy part because I wanted to mention this statistic. According to a political polling that they just recently did the past week, it shows that literally the 44% of people who disapprove are the Republican Party. And it amazes me that these people refuse to move on all of the things that he has done. That's insanity. Now, the good news is that there were a lot of people who were against it. It used to be at 39%. It's now moved 7 points to show that the American people are saying they do approve of it, of impeachment now, or moving forward, because people are just like, okay, this is crazy. But the Republican Party has not shifted.
But honestly, like, if I was a Republican, like, to look back at this, like, is this something that your party would be proud of, like having this person in the office, like, and you guys got him there?
Right.
I would feel so just like humiliated. Like, this is our party. We're supposed to be, I don't know. And the Democrats ain't doing shit either, but I'm just saying,
come on now.
Like, as a whole, they should be embarrassed.
They should literally
That's
be
the
embarrassed. Thing is that they should be, because they're so quick to say the American people. Yeah. The American people are not.
Oh, that's the liberals.
Exactly.
Oh, that's the liberals. Oh, the liberals.
My thing
that's
is
their favorite thing.
How can you look at what the president has admitted to doing? Because he said, yes, I did these things. Yes, I did it, which is why he released the memo to show that he didn't do anything wrong, because he really doesn't understand that what he did was against the law.
He doesn't think that because when you're just crooked,
right,
and everything that you've done has been against the law since you've got into business,
right,
And that's literally that.
I'm saddened by all of this, but I'm also excited by all of it. That's why I've been consuming so much media and then on top of that, this is the funny part. This is why I wish people would just really open their eyes. Last week, the Republicans sent out their talking points. Accidentally, they sent them to Democrats as well. They tried to take it back, but it was too late. And then shortly thereafter, all of the Republican senators, well, not all of them, because there are a few of them. I know that Mitt Romney has come out against Donald Trump, but there's several of them who are not, and who are standing by him, who are using those exact. Right, using those exact same talking points that were emailed out to everybody.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then I'm just sitting there like, how can you have the face to still use the same talking points? Well, I'm not calling anybody dumb, but do you think that all of us are really that dumb to believe what you're saying? Like, you're not addressing anything that's come out in the facts that have been stated. You just keep trying to change everybody's opinions by stuff that doesn't even matter. You keep bringing it, like, they will ask a direct question. Do you think what the president did was wrong? And they're like, well, what we think is wrong is Joe Biden's son working for the energy company and this, that, and no, that wasn't a question I asked you. Because the question at hand is, the president admitted to doing this, which is why he released the memo and part of the conversation. Do you believe what he did was wrong? They won't answer.
Why would they?
It's crazy.
It is what it is, though. You know, like, we all have been aware for years, or if you weren't, you should be aware.
That's right.
At how crooked the government is. And at the end of the day, what's really important is our local government and who we have in office in our counties and as our mayors, as our city council members, as our governor, our representatives, everything like that. Those are the people that matter for us. So, you know, when people say you need to get out there and vote, it's not just the president. Like, cool.
That's right.
The president, you know, makes decisions on our behalf and all of that stuff. But it's really those people who are in our state and in our cities who really, really affect us on a normal basis.
That's
and the things that we have to deal with on a regular day-to-day basis.
And that's because most people don't understand that there's supposed to be checks and balances in the government. They don't understand that the House of Representatives and our senators have to report directly to us because we vote on them keeping their positions. And they're the ones who are supposed to hold the president in check, just like that's why we have the separation of branches. That's why our government was set up like that. But so many people feel that, okay, my vote wasn't heard, and so therefore I'm not going to vote anymore. No, if we start with the House of Representatives and our senators and start holding them accountable, okay, you refuse to do the stuff that we are asking you to do. Okay, I'm not going to vote for you again. No, somebody else comes up. That's how AOC is now where she is. And for those of you who don't know who AOC is, that's Andrea Ocasio-Cortez. That's how she became a part of the House of Representatives, is because people were tired and she went out and met with her local people, and now she is doing what the people want her to do, as opposed to all these corporations who have bought both Democrats and Republicans, and now they're the ones making all the decisions instead of the people.
Ain't nobody right. Dirty money is still dirty.
It's from pharmaceutical companies, energy, and again, I say that's Democrats and Republicans. So the way we make a change is find people who represent us. That means our House of Representatives and our senators. That's why it's important. Those 2-year elections that we have, yes, they matter. They matter a lot because they're the ones who get into power, who do these impeachment inquiries, and who make sure that the president has to follow the law.
Exactly. So you guys really need to do your research about your local
representatives. That's right.
Representatives, your mayors.
That's right.
The city council.
That's right.
You guys, I mean, if you have a chance, go to some of the meetings if you can. They have them at different, like City I know halls, LA's is I know LA downtown is every Tuesday.
That's right.
I mean, like you have to go and get involved if this is really something that is important to you. And, you know, and not even just if you don't have the time to do that, understandable, but just doing research on the people that you are putting in office. Everybody is not going to be 100% your guy or your girl. Right. That's just what it is. You're not always going to agree with everybody. But at the end of the day, you can make a consistent choice to be active and knowing and understanding what they stand for. And if they stand for what you stand for, if your heart's aligned, if you feel like they have the best interests of the people, then you vote for them. At the end of the day, you have that right.
That's right.
And we need to, we went through so much to get that right. Women, Black people, actually all people of color, we went through so much in order to get the right to vote.
That's right.
All women. And
let me give you a fun fact on what you just said. There were 2 million less African Americans who voted from when President Obama last ran his last term to Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. 2 million less.
And I believe that because, you know, a lot of people weren't happy with the candidates. I get that. But at the end of the day, it still matters. I mean, granted, like, we all love Obama. You know, all the Black people are like, yay, Obama. You know, but Obama wasn't the best president either.
He made mistakes as well. That's right.
But he's human. But he didn't do shit like this.
Come on now. What he did, his foreign policy was pretty bad because he did some pretty bad things overseas. But I agree with you. And again, we just stating facts. However you feel about it is how you feel about it, but those are the facts.
But at the end of the day, if you really want change, you have to get out and make that change happen. And the way that you're going to do it is starting locally. And then we'll be able to, you know, because once you get the right people in the right places, then your voices are going to be heard. That's just that on that. And actually, that's our self-care tip for the day because we don't really, you know, a lot of people don't talk about that as being important.
Right.
And it is important. It is important. And although it might not be something that is directly involving your spiritual growth, it is affecting your physical in this world.
That's correct.
And everything that is going on. So you just need to if you are 18 or over, you need to make sure that you are registered to vote. Get some knowledge, do some research, read about it, understand what people are talking about. Pay attention because there's a lot of things that happen on days when bills are being passed that are distractions so that we're not even thinking about those things happening. And then because we aren't paying attention, something has been changed and there's nothing we can do about it. So you guys just need to make sure that you're paying attention. You're up on what's going on. And that's just it.
It is.
So that's all I got today. Is that all you got, Carl?
That's it, girl. Let's go.
That's that on that. So we gonna get up out of here, but we love you guys and we truly, truly mean it.
Yes, as always, love, light, and positivity.
High five.
High five.
Bye.